Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. It is almost the end of February. Can you believe it? And by the time you see this video, I will be in Arizona. I am that close to leaving, so I am so excited. But don't worry, if you're not following me already on Instagram, follow me on Instagram because I will be posting things on there of more, up-to-date pictures and things like that. But I will be filming the whole time I'm there, so don't worry. Now, speaking of the end of February, that means it's time for me to share with you some plants, 5 of them to be specific, from my collection that I'm really crushing on this month, that have really been doing great. Some of them have been flying below the radar. Some of them has really been prominent in my collection. So let's take a look at what has been growing in my collection for the month of February. Okay, so let's get started with some succulents and cacti. These have been out in my patio, pretty much getting morning sun only, and been doing great even with the couple of freezes down into the high 30s that we had here in Central Florida. Okay, the first one is this cactus. This is I believe it is Cereus, Forbesii Spiralis, and I'll look it up and put it on the screen here. But this one here is just so beautiful. I looked for it for a long time. For the longest time I couldn't find it in any of the nurseries. I ended up getting it online. I believe it was through the Anxious Garden, and I only paid like $40 for it, which was a deal because they were going for really a lot of money at that time. This was about 2 years ago, and it was about, I'd say about this big. Okay, so it has grown quite a bit. It's gained about 3 inches, and it's continuing its spiraling, which is what I absolutely love about it. These do bloom. It hasn't bloomed for me yet. I think it's because it's young. It's still a juvenile. And so I'm hoping that once it gets bigger, once it matures more, it will bloom for me. But this one, I just love the spiraling effect of it. It is a slow grower, so if you're looking for a cactus that will maintain its compactness, this is the one. Like I said, it's a slow grower, and you do need to have good light for it. So an east facing or west facing or south facing window with direct sun, it needs some direct light for it to maintain that spiraling effect, maintain its color, and not get too narrow at the top, because with cacti, especially columnar cactus, they will get very thin if they don't have enough light hitting them. Okay, so you do want to make sure that you have enough direct sunlight on it. Okay, love this plant. Now, second one, and this is actually a succulent. It is not a cactus. You hopefully you've seen one of my last videos. I did a propagation on a euphorbia. This is a euphorbia. Let me just check to make sure I've got the name right. This is Euphorbia Zig Zag Pseudocactus. Pseudo meaning fake, because it does look like a cactus, right? But no, it's a euphorbia, which is a succulent. Does not have spines like a cactus would. It has thorns like a euphorbia does. And look at the pattern on these. Just gorgeous. And let me step back a little bit. You can see on this one here how much arms it has grown. This one is growing much more straight up, whereas this one has grown quite a few arms. Let me turn it around a little bit, which I love that look of it. I do have it attached to a couple of bamboo sticks there because it was you know, it's getting so tall that it was kind of leaning. But this zigzag cactus, oh, I just love it. The unusual shape of it, first of all, and then the unusual pattern on it is so cool. These also bloom. Mine hasn't bloomed yet, and I'm hoping that it will very soon because it's really starting to grow. In the last year since we've been here in Florida, it has grown all of these, let me see, all of these top arms there. It's grown that. So it's does well out on the patio, even with the humidity here in, excuse me, even with the humidity here in Central Florida, it did just fine. It gets that morning sun, direct sun, so that is one thing I think that why it's doing so well. But this zigzag, Euphorbia Zig Zag Pseudocactus is wonderful. Super easy to propagate. If I wanted to take these arms right here, I could just even snap them off or cut them and propagate these into another container. If I wanted this one to prompt this one here into getting arms, I could cut the top off and that will signal to the plant to grow some arms on there too. So like I said, I recently did a video on how to propagate euphorbias and all the little, idiosyncrasies that go with that. So you want to watch that if you have not propagated a euphorbia yet. Definitely recommend that before you do, because there are certain things that you should and shouldn't do, okay? So that one, that Euphorbia Zig Zag Pseudocactus is really, I'm just loving it this month of February. Okay, so let's move on to some tropical plants, okay? This one here sits right back here in my dining room, and you all know how much I love philodendrons, right? Right. So this is a philodendron painted lady. This is a little lady. She's not very mature, but she's getting there. She's just a little lady, but look at the brilliant chartreuse yellow green coloring on that. The pinkish burgundy stems, petioles on that. I have her, because she's really starting to climb now, I have her on a trellis here. I do have another attachment that I can put on top here that I will eventually once she gets tall enough. But she's got, you would think that she would continue growing more leaves up here, which she is, but she's got another one down here. See if I can show you there. That's opening up too. So, and then she's got some coming out down here at the bottom too. This plant I got from Green Spaces ID from Indonesia, and it did not wilt or, miss a beat at all when I got it and planted it up in this little, it's in a little 4-inch pot inside this ceramic pot. This one is from Urban Jungle. You know how I love their pots. And it's doing great. I'm not going to be repotting it because they like to be a little bit snug in their pots for them to grow, and until she gets much bigger. But I do hope that her leaves will get much bigger once she starts really growing. I recently saw a video from my good friend Connie down in Miami, Plant Life with Connie. She just did a video on her painted lady, and I'll leave a link to it down below. Hers is incredible, that she got a great deal on. And I'm hoping that my little tiny painted lady will get that way too. I water her when she's just about dry. I don't let her go bone dry, but I wait till at least the couple of inches on top are dry. And you can also tell too, as far as the leaf wilting a little bit or feeling thin, that she is thirsty and will need some water. And she seems to be doing just fine with that schedule. I do fertilize my plants with every watering. I use the elm dirt plant juice, which is made from worm castings. And all of my plants seem to love that. It is organic, so it's not too harsh for them to receive fertilizer with each watering, okay? But this Philodendron Painted Lady is just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait till she gets nice and big. Now, with February being the month of Valentine's, you know I had to have something that was heart-shaped, right? Right. So I took down my, it's the Cereus woodii. This is my string of hearts variegated that hangs back here in the window. I took it out of the pot that it sits in. This is the nursery pot I have it in. Now I'll show you some pictures of when I got this. I got this in Phoenix from Plant Stand of Arizona, and it was barely just dangling over the edge of the pot when I got it. And then I purchased this little hoop here of a heart, and I started, you know, wrapping the strings along there. And then I put them in the hanging one because they were growing and growing and growing. It's got to be from the top here about 3 feet down, dangling down. It is in an east-facing window where it gets direct morning sun, and it seems to be doing well there because she was reverting back to an all green. She was losing her variegation because I didn't have her in enough sun. And that's what happens with variegated plants. When you don't have them in enough sun, they lose their variegation and they revert back. So once I put her hanging there directly in that window and getting direct sun, she started getting some of her variegation back. She started getting, she's getting all tangled too. And she started getting some of that pink tinge back that, you know, the variegated string of hearts are known for. And I just noticed too that she's got 2 little bulbs here. If I wanted to, I could cut this and repot it back into the pot here and have it root off of these here. But I'm just gonna let her grow and do her thing. I am so happy that she's doing well. And she did bloom for me, some very small blooms. They're very delicate. Probably a few weeks ago. She doesn't have any on her right now, but like I said, I just noticed these little bulbs right here, and those would be good if I wanted to propagate her too. Isn't that something? So my string of hearts variegated is definitely a showstopper for the month of February. Okay. Okay, so here we are in my TV room. And this is my Philodendron Micans. And look at her go. I have been training her to go up this wall here. And she's just doing incredible. I've got like 4 tendrils, just vines going up the wall there. And I have her attached with these little plastic things there. They just stick onto the wall and you just, you know, close them and it holds her on there. But she's just doing incredible. This is a west-facing window in this room, so she does have ambient light from the grow bulb in here in the corner, but in the afternoon, I leave the blinds open and just this brilliant light comes in and shines on all of these plants right up against the window, and she just loves it. The shimmer on her leaves is incredible when that happens. It really is. It's just gorgeous. And she's got another tendril growing there, another vine growing on the bottom there. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I may cut it and propagate it. But she's on this trellis here, also from Trellive. And she outgrew that, but it supports her still. And she's growing up. Now, I may have her grow all the way across. I don't know yet. We'll see where she stops. Nobody knows. But she's just doing fabulous ever since she came into this room and hasn't stopped growing one little bit. And just, you know, the camera doesn't do it justice as far as catching the shimmer on these Micans leaves. It's just gorgeous. It really is. The way they come in, like a little bit bronzy and then turn green. Well, there you have it, friends. Those are the plants that I am just totally crushing on for the month of February. I think none of my plants here have gone into dormancy this winter because of such a mild winter that we have here in Florida. I had pretty much the same thing happen for me in Arizona. So that has been just wonderful for them. I think that's why they've kept on growing. But all of them are doing great, and I hope you enjoyed those. Let me know down in the comments below, friends, which one of these is your favorite, and if you have any of these particular plants in your collection also, okay? If you enjoyed this video, friends, make sure that you give it a like, give it a thumbs up. That helps out my channel so much. And make sure that you subscribe too, because you don't want to miss any of my videos. And particularly now that I'm traveling and doing videos at nurseries in Arizona and LA and such, you want to make sure that you get those videos and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I do put one up, okay? Thanks so much, friends. I appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with me. Have a blessed day, friends. I will see you in the next video, okay? Bye-bye now.